have no strong feelings towards you either way. Right. So, continuing the Metal Gear saga of Foley plays, we are moving on to Snake Eater. This takes place well before even Metal Gear, the original one. Long in the past, 60s at some stage. Let's get started. Right, we're playing the HD version, so there's a lot of special shit we can do, but we're going to ignore that. Now, the top one doesn't do anything. Liking MGS1 makes it a little easier. Liking MGS2 does something funny. And liking MGS3 is unlocks some things, so we're going to do it that one. Not that we're going to use them.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two.
Split into three, actually,
East and
Snake.
West.
Technically.
This marked the beginning of
That's where the whole
called the
third
Cold
world
War.
country comes from, actually. First world was capitalist Democrats, second world was communist, third world was no particular affiliation, either way. Neutrals, if you like. Has since been co-opted to mean something else. Anyway, we're in a plane. David Hayter's in this game. Of course he is. Why wouldn't he be? So Snake Eater takes place long before any of the games that have come up so far in my little playthrough thing. So we're starting to see the origins of a lot of things. Pakistan. That's pretty high up. Oh, there's not an iPad inside. Not in this cockpit.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check.
Don't do that. I need the pressure.
Main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass.
What does that mean? Rain? No, that means heat. God, terrible weather. Always get it wrong. Original story, planning, game design, directing, written. Why doesn't he just... You think it'd be ridiculous if he put his name after, like, everything?
Put out that cigar.
What he really wants to do?
Connecting
Cigars, huh?
to interior connector.
Put out the cigar, Snake. He's putting oxygen in. So we've already got a kind of similarity, but not sort of similarity. He smokes cigars. Solid Snake smokes cigarettes.
Does this pantywaist know what he's doing? Approaching release point. 10 minutes to drop off.
It was 20 minutes a minute? What? Hang on. How fast are we going here? Come on, Snake. Stop being a dick. That was very fast. Another similarity. I don't know if it's an intended similarity, but it looks a lot like Raiden's skull suit mask.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
You know, when he joins Foxhound, and this is kind of the first mission, the origins of Foxhound, of Fox. Also, that mask is probably not standard issue if you'll look at the front of it.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius.
That's cold.
2 minutes to drop off.
2 minutes? How fast are we going? Seriously? I'm looking at the timer, and it has not been 20 minutes. That's very fast.
1 minute to drop off.
You can see the front of the mask there. Actually says the name of the game on it. Seems unlikely.
The world's first Halo jump.
Getting the origins of a lot of things from Metal Gear, and then we're getting the origin of a lot of things in the military universe. The first Halo jump,
Status okay?
which is high altitude, low opening, meaning they jump off from really high up, i.e. 30,000 feet, hit terminal velocity as quickly as they can,
Spread your wings.
and then open the parachute at the very last moment. Basically means they don't show up on radar, because the plane is too high up, and the parajumper is going too fast, so open the parachute under radar. It's pretty mental. And she's just thrown up all in that mask. So yeah, that's the profile you want if you want to be hitting terminal velocity. Make yourself as narrow as possible. Cut down on the surface area.
Jack, I've got some important...
So we're really pumped to start playing Snake Eater there, jumping out of a fucking plane and all that, but now it's just cut all of that enthusiasm.
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on
The
it. If it's
progenitor to
succeeds,
the
we should
PowerPoint
organize a
presentations.
unit.
It's just really grainy PowerPoints instead.
Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
It's not. It's not the tutorial? Are you sure? I'm pretty sure it is the tutorial.
Wonderful mission.
Well, about 2 years ago,
Right.
a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His
Watch
name
out,
is
dude. That
Nikolai
bridge is not
Stepanovich
fixed.
Sokolov.
Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov.
5-4 Design Bureau,
Not
one
Rasputin.
of the Soviets' top
He's
secret
very dead at
weapon
this stage.
research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov. Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
On April
Let's
the 12th,
roll it into history somehow.
1961, the
1961,
Soviets achieved the first
right.
manned space flight in history.
So that's how far back we're going.
Earth was
Quite a
blue,
while.
but there was no God.
That's a hell of a
Well
quote.
spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1.
It won. Wow, they got it right in the very first go. Hold on.
Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's
That is a
flight,
big
Sokolov
rocket.
left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story.
It certainly
so when
is.
he wanted to defect.
It seems he'd
They
become
weren't paying
afraid
him
of
enough.
his own creations.
Afraid.
Call it a crisis of conscience.
Oh, he had a bit of a Frankenstein moment, did he?
Family behind and went over the fence.
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the west.
Oh, he's a good guy.
He used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking.
These
Sokolov
moles.
over
When did we
the
co-opt
shortly
mole
after.
technology exactly?
I was the one.
I've never read anything about that in history books.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin.
You couldn't have moved him a little further?
2 weeks,
No?
more than 600 miles.
I'm sure he's tired and all, but
Facility
he's like
in the
right
Soviet
on the
Union to
border.
Berlin. He was in no condition to say
Move him
anything
into
coherent.
France or something.
And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
Newspapers.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
Also that.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range.
But it wasn't the Soviets. It was Sebastian Shaw. He was fooling y'all.
The Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down.
No,
Instead,
not even after Magneto blew up all their rockets.
Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war.
Gotta take care of those mutants.
Negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security
What
Council.
what is to be done about these mutants? They've got like superpowers. One of them is blue, but she's hot.
Finally,
It's
on
it's
October
freaking me out.
The Soviet Union
The
agreed
weirdest
to
boner.
remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to
We
make
also had to pull our missiles out.
The one where the U.S. agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey.
no.
Ha!
The
Your
German
face, Snake.
IRBMs
Super
deployed in
wrong.
Turkey were
I keep calling him
obviously
Snake. You'll see why in a minute.
gonna get rid of
If you
them
don't
anyway.
already know.
They had no
This game is pretty
strategic
old.
value
I mean,
whatsoever
I'm
to
not
either
too
the
worried about the
US
spoilers
or
at
the
this
Russians.
stage.
The Turkey deal was a ruse.
If you get closer to
Covers
modern
all
Metal
the
Gear
major
games, I'll start
agencies
worrying about the
around
spoilers,
the
but
world.
So what
this
did the
was
Russians
originally a
do?
PS2 game. It's pretty goddamn old at this stage, guys.
They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of
Wow,
Cuba just to
huge
get their
dick
hands on
move.
Sokolov?
We just got him out, and now they want to pull him back in.
At the time, we had no idea.
We still don't really.
We were running out
It's
of time.
tight-lipped.
It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice.
We risked full-scale nuclear war.
Khrushchev's demand.
Ah, what are you
The
doing?
next day, I got
you doing, Jeff?
Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared.
He wasn't saying save me. The translation was coming across. He was saying, "You fucking assholes."
Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
Ah, the mole people back again.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research.
he was sent
facility
straight
to
back to
continue
work.
Working on the weapon in question under case
Get
of
back to
supervision.
work.
What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind
Why
of
have we
weapons
waited
is it?
this long
Something
to
do
take
with
care of
space
this?
rockets?
Why did we wait till it was on the verge of completion?
Same technology.
Same deal.
I guess you're right.
Fucking
We
go-
don't
what's
know
this
the details
Godzilla
of
action
the
going
test
on
of
here?
the
What the hell?
nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at
That is a big
semi-pilot
hole.
Something to do with
Semi-pat. No,
We're
no, I'm
talking
not even gonna
about
bother.
weapons
It's
so
gone.
big that
It's gone
Khrushchev was
past.
ready to pull pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in a facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in
Selinoyarsk.
place in the mountains about 3 miles.
It made up for this game. Doesn't exist. At least I can't find it on a map anywhere. And the Google only returns links to Snake Eater, so I'm assuming it's made up for the game.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back.
Okay.
This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility.
Oh, so that's why they waited so long.
This is our last chance.
Why didn't they just keep him in the
Sokolov
research
must have known
facility?
that,
Blech,
when he
facility.
contacted us.
There are more syllables in that word. Are we back? Are we back to being enthused? We are, okay. We are plummeting 130 miles an hour. All the blood is in our feet and our boner. It's so cold, you guys. I can't feel anything. Alright, now we level out. Slow down a bit. I'm not doing any of this, obviously. This is all the cutscene. I have no interaction whatsoever. Oh wait, no I do! Haha! Sometimes the R1 button appears and you get like first person control. It's fairly limited. But still, at least you're not just sitting there waiting for the cutscene to finish.
If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete,
I have no idea where I'm going. GPS is useless at this height. Oh yeah. Perfect.
Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery
I
point.
still have no idea where I'm
The recovery
going.
balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes.
Sounds extremely familiar.
Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery
Yes, the
system.
Fulton recovery
I'm
system.
familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Has been combat proven. It was combat proven in the Dark Knight
Do you think
film.
Sokolov is up to it?
That's how he gets the
The shock will be less than during
Chinese
the
accountant
jump, and the
out of
arm can
China.
handle up to
He used the
500
Fulton
pounds.
recovery system.
So you're planning
I was
on
like,
going
ha!
over the border in a single combat talent?
That's Metal Gear.
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as
Nice.
2 40mm machine guns.
Also nice.
Sounds like
Also
you can hold
nice.
her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank,
Where
we're
are you
facing
going,
a
Snake?
4-hour
The drop
time
point is
limit.
like behind you now.
If all goes
Turn
well,
it around.
shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong,
You'll be eating dinner, breakfast.
and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
Well, let's not do that. I don't think they have Burger King in the jungle. Actually, is Burger King even a thing yet? Historically? When was the first Burger King? I don't know. Where are we? 63, 64, something like that? No idea. Alright, here we go. There is nowhere to land. Ow. Ow. Slap right in the face. Ah. I needed that. I really did. Oh shit. You just loafed the ground, Snake. That must have hurt a lot. Do the cool guy thing. Come on, do it. Do it already. Oh yeah. Just in case you didn't know what game you were playing. We gotta do the cool stand up, take the mask off thing. That is a nice JPEG. Go off our oxygen, take off our altimeter. And the mask. Fix your perfect hair. You didn't even have to unfasten it or anything, just lifted it off. It's not very secure, Snake. Snake! David Hayter. That's why I'm calling him Snake, because the game calls him Snake. We use our codec, but the codec doesn't exist yet, because it was, you know, cutting edge technology in Metal Gear Solid, so obviously it doesn't exist yet. So we just got a run-of-the-mill radio.
Already in enemy territory.
This is our radio slash codec screen for the game.
Here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your
Major
code name
Zero.
for the mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you
But
as
I've got
Snake
clothes on,
from
though.
now on. You're
Why'd
not
you?
to mention your real
Why is
name.
my code name Naked Snake, but you're gonna refer to me as
Don't
Snake?
like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
What have you heard?
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but
Be careful. You
I
might
have
not
some
have a
trouble
choice.
finding one in a
what about
restaurant.
you, Major?
Well,
What
at
should I
least
call
in
you?
Let's see.
Where I live.
I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom.
ground control.
This will be
Mr.
a
Bowie.
sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the
Unlike
enemy.
every Metal Gear up to
See
this
no
point,
trace
this
of
will be
your
a sneaking mission.
Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's specialty.
Fox. Notice they're
In other
not
words,
called Fox
weapons
Hound.
and equipment are procure
Just
on
call
site.
Fox.
That goes for food as well. You're
You'll see why.
completely
Well,
naked,
actually,
just as your name implies.
no, you won't. You won't see
Now I
why.
see why
We'll
you're
bring it up
scared
later.
of
No worries.
snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Oh, come on, tell me now.
Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
Use your
You've
hands.
been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun.
I can't
Use
eat
them to
those.
hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, the
Yeah, about the
backpack.
backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I sure did.
I see.
Where are you getting this
Go
footage
back
from,
and get it.
Tom? Zero.
You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in
To
front
climb a
of the
tree,
tree
climb it
covered in
like a
ivy
regular
and press
person. I don't know why you need to tell me to do this. You're like elite special forces commando guy or something. I'm sure you know how to climb a tree.
Violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship.
We can't risk violating airspace, but we're totally violating it right now. So he's Campbell for the game. The frequency should
If you need to
tip
talk
you
to
off
me,
for that.
Use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Yeah, I'm working on it. Okay, so we're playing the game. One thing to notice immediately, as a big departure from Metal Gear Solid 1, and Metal Gear Solid, what the hell is that? Oh, it's the fake tooth thing. We probably won't need to use that. We got our knife, and we got our ration, which isn't actually called a ration. But anyway, so big departure. Oh, yeah, I'm so cool. Is this? I can use the camera. I have full control of the camera. It is a full 3D camera. We did not have that in Metal Gear 1 and 2. And Metal Gear Solids 1 and 2, before you give me any shit. So that is a rather huge change. It's probably the biggest change to the gameplay-wise. No one really mentions it. When it comes to gameplay, they start talking about all the other systems, which we'll get to. But I honestly think that actual control of the camera is the biggest change.
I see you've retrieved your backpack.
How?
Snake.
How have you seen I've retrieved my backpack?
To equip
You're
a
in a
weapon,
gunship.
it's necessary
We do
to
not have the
take out
technology
your
for this.
In the survival viewer, choose weapon from the backpack. Your
What?
available weapons will be displayed in a window in the upper left.
What?
From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the enter button.
What?
For other equipped items, just do the same
So
thing
this is
from
something,
Use the survival.
something I actually have a problem with in Snake Eater.
Yep,
when,
that's right.
when they were trying to kind of
Survival is
add some new
fundamental
things to the
this
game. They just added
After
more
you've been out
complexity.
in the field for a while, your stamina will start to
In
drop.
a kind of way to make it
Stamina
more
gets too low,
realistic.
it'll affect your performance.
You
You won't be able to shoot.
They really
accurately,
just make
for
the game more
example,
complicated.
and your wounds won't
And
heal
kind of
as
annoying.
smoothly.
Basically, you don't have
Time
access to
your
all of
stamina
your
so you don't
items
run out.
all the time.
To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for
They're
local
stored in your
flora
backpack, and you
fauna.
need to take them out, and you can
use
only
either
carry
tranquilizer
so
gun or
many
your knife
outside the
to hunt.
backpack.
My only weapon is a
At a
Mark
time. I think it's
22
8,
hush
something
puppy
like that.
tranquilizer gun.
Another thing is they've introduced
That's right.
stamina, which is what they're talking
Fitted with
about
its
there.
own
I've kind of
suppressor.
talked over it. But there's a stamina meter
suppressor
that
will deteriorate
gradually
every time you
trickles
fire.
down as Snake performs
Your
actions,
ability
or
to
just in
use zero,
general, if
the
you sit
noise
still, it'll
suppressor effect will
eventually
be gone.
drop to
Don't
0.
get too trigger happy with it.
And that affects your
Suppressor's
ability
durability is
to
shown
fight
in
and
the
walk
icon.
around and so
Any
on.
weapons
And it
that
eventually
wouldn't
starts
be on
affecting
what
your
you're
health,
carrying
and
now,
eventually it'll kill you.
you'll have to find out
And you need
where.
to eat,
I have to find
basically.
my own weapons and equipment.
So
Who's
that's what
crazy
they were
enough to
talking
listen
about feeding
anyway?
yourself. You need to hunt.
Solo covert actions are standard Fox
Keep yourself
operating
stocked up,
procedure.
keep your stamina up.
You can't leave
Now for the
any
opening
traces
mission,
of
they're not that
weapons.
aggressive on your stamina, and if you picked
Weapons,
I like
footprints,
MGS1,
sweat,
they're
or
very,
body
very
fluids.
relaxed on
Same
your
goes for
stamina. That
bullets,
doesn't really
guns,
drop down at all.
Your presence
But,
in enemy territory is already a
much
violation
like
of international conventions
Sons of
of
Liberty,
warfare.
there are 2
There
parts
aren't
to the
supposed to
game,
be any
in the way that there was
Roger.
the tanker at the beginning of Sons of Liberty, and then the plant, the
Can't let
big shell.
anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there.
There's this early mission that's on for
Ghost Snake,
an hour,
in
maybe
every
2,
sense of the word.
and then the rest of the
There'll be
game,
no
the same way.
rescue if you're captured.
So for this opening section, we're not really gonna have to worry about our stamina that much, but we will
Then
later
I'll
on.
just have to take care of myself.
Right now, what are they talking about?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill.
Right, that fake pill thing.
SIS
in my
guidelines
tooth.
stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule.
Great.
Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
No,
How dare
I'm never
you
doing that ever.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by
Nope.
the enemy. It'll
If I'm taken prisoner by my enemy, I am stopping and reloading my save. That's what's going to
hook them
happen.
into thinking that I'm really dead.
We will literally never use
So
this
how do I
mechanic.
come back to life?
just take the revival
Wait,
pill.
You mean that thing they put in
we
my
might have to
body
use this
before
mechanic. I
mission?
think there might be an actual
one.
forced gameplay
Be
thing. We have to
careful.
do it. But otherwise,
Being in a
we won't be
state of
using it.
forced death for too long,
If I can avoid it.
nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Of course not. They haven't
Correct.
introduced co-op.
Mission
Co-op?
rests
Co-op.
entirely in your hands.
Please don't introduce co-op to Metal Gear Solid,
Man
please.
army.
Wow,
Relax.
the game's
There's a
complicated
support
enough as it
team
is.
ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you.
'Kay.
This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording
But
your
not really,
mission
because
data.
they can't get to you.
She's a
So
member of
you're kind of on
Fox
your
as
own for
well,
now.
and she's here on the gunship with me.
Oh, yeah.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
But
Aren't
I
you
won't be
gonna
doing
tell
that
me your real name?
at all.
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
Sure, it's
My name, huh?
Steve.
It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short.
Yep.
You're a regular Captain Nemo.
I am.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name.
No, they do have a name, Snake. You just need to ask them their name.
Jane Doe.
It's rude.
Very
Been
funny.
with them that long, you should
I
know their
wasn't
name, Snake.
joking, But I'll tell you my name.
It's
only
okay
if
to
you
ask
manage to
them.
make it
Just
back alive.
stop forgetting it.
My frequency is 145.7.
145? Wow, they are
She's
branching
also
out the
in charge of
frequencies for
recording your
this.
mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a
And they
message
haven't
over
changed the
reserved
save frequency, that's nice of them.
140.96.
So
Although you
Steve
don't
gets
actually
record
need
the
to
mission
input
data.
it.
That's
It's
right.
saved
It also
automatically. These are all
records the state of
saved.
your
Just
health.
new.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you?
What's that supposed to
A
mean?
legendary soldier and your mentor.
Mentor.
Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be
Department
serving as Fox's
of
mission
Covert
advisor.
Boss is.
Intelligence?
She also helped
I
me
don't know what the
plan
hell
this
the I
mission.
means.
She and I were at SAS together.
Oh, yeah.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Not that many. Sons of Liberty only finished a
That's
while
right.
ago.
It's me. Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
I've been hearing my voice. All I've been doing is talking for the last 10 minutes.
Years, 72 days and 18 hours.
You don't know that. Where's your watch?
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
No, I'm behind you.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Plus, I'm watching you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
I
Why
think
you
it's fairly
disappear on me
plain.
all of a sudden.
I
Calm
was
down,
on a
Snake.
top secret mission.
A
You didn't
likely
need me.
story.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
Yeah, sex things.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could.
Such
The
lies.
rest you needed to
You
learn
kept
on
all the
your
good.
own.
You kept all the good shit to yourself.
Technique,
You never
sure.
taught me the death
But what about
touch.
how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier?
How long have you been
I
a soldier,
can't teach you
Snake?
that.
I'm sure you can work it out.
A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact,
I don't know.
technique
You
doesn't
learned
even
some
matter.
philosophy from them.
What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single
Well, maybe not
coin.
learn it
They're the
exactly,
same
but you'll
thing.
get some
I can't teach you how to think.
assimilated
You'll
into your
just
own
have to
worldview.
figure it out for yourself.
Or discard
Listen
it,
to me,
whatever.
Jack.
That's life.
Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be.
So this is
Having
kind of an
personal
important theme.
feelings about your
The whole
comrades is one of the worst
you're a
sins you
soldier,
can
but you're
commit.
not necessarily
Politics
tied to one
determine who
particular
you face
side.
on the battlefield. And politics
Battlefield
are a
is
living thing.
distinct from
change
the
along with the
politics
times.
surrounding the current
Yesterday's
battle,
good
or
might
why
be
you're on the
tomorrow's
battlefield.
evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
It'll come up later.
No,
Don't worry.
it
We'll
had
go into
nothing
it in
to
a
do
lot
with
of detail.
I already told you, Jack. I was on a top secret mission.
Was
A
though.
soldier has to follow
Is it
whatever
still top
orders
secret?
he's given. It's not his place to question why.
Such lies.
But you're looking for a reason to
Which is
fight.
something Solid Snake
You're a
obviously
natural-born fighter. But you're not quite
discredited.
a soldier.
'Cause he asked questions all the time.
A
That was his
soldier
whole
is
thing.
a
That was the
political
whole Sons of
tool,
Liberty
nothing
thing.
more.
Her writing was
That's
being
doubly true if he's a career
just following
soldier.
orders, and look, you
Right
ended up
and
following
wrong
the
have
orders
no
of an
place in
AI, and
this
Snake is
mission.
like, you idiot.
He has no enemies.
Question
and
people,
no friends.
always.
Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I
Maybe
do
you should
whatever I
stop
have
being
to
a
to get the
soldier.
job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same
You should,
thing.
though, Snake. When you get older,
Sooner
you
or
will.
later, your conscience
Suddenly
is
become
going
very
to
important
bother
to you.
In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
Loyalty to the
It means
end.
devoting yourself
Was that supposed to be
your
translated?
country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
No, Snake. No,
The
no, no.
president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once
You
their
don't follow
terms
the
are up,
men, Snake.
others
You
will
follow
take
the
their
office.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's
The-
in charge.
The leader
People
is
aren't
good.
the
The
ones who
leader is
dictate
great.
the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change
Irish
over
Times?
time, and
The
so
New
do
York
the leaders
Times.
of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms.
See?
The
That
enemies
whole
we
thing
fight
again.
are only enemies in relative terms.
It's only the
constantly
fight.
changing with the times.
It's not the politics.
As long
not the
as we
reason
have
you're fighting.
loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty
Is
is the
death.
mission, Jack.
Oh, no.
All right.
Okay, I was going a little darker than they were going. Okay,
What is it?
I'll roll
Call
it
me
back.
Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your code name is Snake. It suits you well.
What's that
That's
supposed to
right.
mean?
The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit. A group
This
of
is why you
heroes
called
that
me
brought
Snake?
the war to an
Really?
end and saved the world. As long as you've got a
For
legendary
thematic
hero
reasons?
backing you up, you'll
Really?
be fine. Isn't that
Okay.
right, Snake?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more
I don't
thing,
know.
boss.
Fucking Magneto would be
Yes.
helpful if he's
It's
busy in
good
the
to hear your
Cuba
voice again.
still. Call him up.
Same here.
I'd say he'd be really
After
helpful
all,
against the Metal
who knows
Gear.
if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings.
So this is
But this
actually,
the jungle.
well, fine, you could say
Survival
Snake is
going
better
to
at
be key.
urban warfare or whatever.
Those CQC
But this is
techniques I
Kojima
taught you
saying,
are
oh,
sure
by
to
the
come in
way,
handy.
Metal Gear Solid 1 and Metal Gear Solid 2
CQC.
took place indoors.
Close quarters combat, huh?
This does
I've
not.
been in
It
Green
takes place
Berets for
in the
past
jungle.
few years.
Lots
probably
of different
pretty
things
rusty.
going on here.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission.
So there are a
I'll be
lot of
supporting
different
you over the
systems at
radio.
play for Snake
Where
Eater
are
that
you,
they brought in
boss?
to kind
Next
of
to the major.
The
deal
boss is
with
communicating with us by radio
the
from
jungle
aboard a Permit
setting.
class
We'll get to
submarine
it.
in the Arctic Ocean.
It will be introduced to us by the game, and as it's introduced, I will talk to you. Her
Call me if you
frequency
need
is
my advice on
141.80.
Gotcha.
Your mission
Master
is to
Miller's
retrieve
frequency
Dr.
was
Sokolov.
141.80, and we know
Dr. Sokolov
how
is
he
being
turned
held
out.
in an abandoned factory
And
to the north of your
Iroquois Pliskin's
Avoid heavy
frequency
combat,
was
don't let anyone see
141.80, and we know how they turned
you. Don't
out.
forget that this is a stealth
So that frequency has a certain amount of sneakiness and betrayal around it.
Snake, try to
Hint,
remember
hint.
some of the
Wink,
basics
wink.
of CQC.
The basics of CQC is you take your knife out really, really slowly. And you aim at the sky, because that's where all the enemies will be.
Commencing Virtuous mission now.
Oh yeah. Gameplay, here we go. But this has actually been going on for a really long time, so probably not that much gameplay. Now, I think I saw a snake. Yes, there he is, in the brush. Kablams! He's disintegrated. That's a hell of a gun. No, he's not disintegrated, he's asleep. And I put him in a cage for some reason. Whatever. Is he... No, he's in my backpack. Ah, fuck that. Okay, that was a lot of cutscenes. Let's not do that again. And let's save our game.
Saving the game, Snake?
I am. Do you have a problem with that? Parallel medic?
You ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
Yes.
No, what is it?
Damn it, Snake.
It's a movie.
We could have moved this along if you just said yes.
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla.
Gojira.
Grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
It's awesome.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
They could be.
It's
You don't
just
know
hard
that.
to believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie. Recorded out of Los Alamos.
Wow, Snake.
So then what happened?
Subtle.
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa developed.
But we have
a new
mutants
type
in
of
this
weapon,
universe,
but
right?
meanwhile, Godzilla's
I mean,
getting
Marvel
closer and
mutants.
closer to Tokyo,
I'm sure they could
obliterating
handle
everything in its
Godzilla.
path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too.
Yeah, it was
I
shit.
recommend seeing the original Japanese one.
Everyone
if you get the
recommends it.
chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Oh wow. Wow.
Well, if you wait 40 years... you
Wow,
might-
technology, you guys.
Why is
If you
that?
wanted to see a particular film, you gotta go to that country.
Godzilla's 50th
Wow.
birthday.
You think they're still
You don't even think about that now, I suppose. But you could just like roll
Of course.
over
Everybody
fucking
loves Godzilla.
Netflix, or I'm sure you can find it on a torrent site somewhere if you really wanted to. I'm sure you could buy it even.
Not really.
That would be a weird thing to do, buy a film.
And I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam.
Is it? I
That's
don't
the
know.
magic
I don't
of
think I want different perspectives. I think I want the perspective that would get me out of the jam.
Just make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
No, the game is serious. I will take it seriously. Seriously. Okay, moving on. Wow, that was a lot of cutscenes. Wait, no. Why are you blonde? Snake, what's going on? What's going on? You're scaring me. No! We just played a game by you. Never! I don't know why this is funny.
Oh, and Snake,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the crew isn't watching anymore. You can take off the disguise now.
Oh, thank God, this is disguise. Get it off.
This isn't right.
Get it off my face. It itches. It
Time
burns.
for the snake to shed his skin.
Get it off. Get it off. Come on. Oh, that is a thin mask. How did you keep your hair under all that? Yeah. Not riding this time. We're not Solid Snake either, though, so fanboys should still be kind of pissed, but whatever. What is this piss?